Morning, Bill. Morning, Davy. How are you both?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, all good.
Good to get you both in the Zoom room. We've had Sylvester all summer. Now we've got you all winter, Davy, for some real racing returning. The Cheltenham Festival, well, not the Cheltenham Festival, Cheltenham was returning, the November meeting. I said to Bill just before then, I thought it'd be quite a big price this time last year that not any of the three of us would make it to Cheltenham, but such is life. So look, we're all missing out. How are you? Can you give us a progress update? I know you had your scan last week. When are you looking to be back in an ideal world?
Yeah, well, I suppose it's another scan now on the 17th of December. So the last one was just take out a few stitches and things and just make sure everything was in line and everything like that. So that's all. It's going according to plan. I have no pain. It's very, very awkward with this contraption on, but it is what it is now. It was quite a severe injury. So with the three vertebrae and just, I mean, no pain. I could actually, if I was left, I'd ride a horse now, but obviously they're not that keen.
If you turn the camera to the right, is there like a little bell on the bedside table for Esdaile just to bring you a sandwich and a bite to eat every now and then? Are you milking it for all you can?
Yeah, no, I'm getting very well looked after. Yeah, I have a number of little helpers running around the place.
Well, honestly, it was horrible to see, and it's glad to hear the recovery is going well. We wish you all the best, get you back in the saddle as quickly as possible. And we're talking about Cheltenham November. Let's hope we see you back there in January for Trials Day, and maybe some of us will be there as well, who knows. But Friday of the November meeting, we'll cover the two main races on the card. We'll kick off with the 150. We bet 5-2 Magic Saint. Paul Nicholls has started flying, but the money horse is On the Slopes, who was massively progressive last season, sort of about a 9-2 shot on the early tissue, into about 130 now. A bit of money for one further down, which I'd never understand in a million years, Eamon de Nock, who never seems to run a race there at all. But Bill, it's a nice little punters race, isn't there? Lots of familiar faces. Beat the Judge, ran well there last time. On the Slopes, nothing progressive. Born Survivor, a horse I think has never quite been at the top table. Where's the Esdaile money going here?
Well, it's On the Slopes is the obvious one. He ran really well on his reappearance through his fifth. He tends to take a couple of runs to get going. This is a horse that was the key bit of form here. He was third on Trials Day behind Simply the Bets and Imperial Aura. Never got to the festival himself, but won a couple of decent races, including that kind of consolation race at Kempton. He's really talented. They had 7 mils of rain last night, so that will help him too. So that's probably where the money for him comes. You know, he's bang there. And you know, another one to look out for. You didn't mention was Fagnon d'Estraval, Venetia Williams' horse. You know, they thought that horse might be an Arkle horse last year. Just the one disappointing run last time we saw him when he was 5th at Kempton. But the key to that horse is that he loves the soft ground and, you know, was hot favourite to win that race behind Global Citizen at Kempton. And, you know,
he's a very in and out horse, isn't he? Global Citizen. You know, he puts in a brilliant round of jumping at sometimes. It's hard form line to assess.
Don't forget the horse that was second that day was Rouge Vif and
fair.
Fagnon was 6-4 to win that race, and you know he's talented on his day. Obviously goes well fresh. I thought it was between those two, On the Slopes and Fagnon d'Estraval. I'd probably go with On the Slopes, but if more rain fell, it could make it close.
Davey, if you could wave a magic wand and be fit and healthy tomorrow and take the pick of them, where would you be looking?
Yeah, look, it's an intriguing race, and you know, you're going along the one line of form for a lot of runners, which is running behind Rouge Vif. So it's on the strength of that form where you're picking, and there's not very little between them. So it's a very tight race. I do have a small liking for Eamon and Canuck, and just for your Irish viewers, they'd be disappointed if I didn't pronounce it right. So it's Eamon of the Mountain, I think, is the translation, or something mountain anyway. So
well, the way he jumped down there last year, I think he's got a mountain to climb. So we could kick off the Zoom room for the winter with immediately disagreeing on one, which is probably what we'll do all winter, and I'm sure you'll be proved right.
I actually feel that ground is key to him. I think if the ground is heavy or sloppy, he likes the whole thing slows down a little bit, and he could jump a little bit better. And it's just for value. Like, it's very tight between the 3 or 4 along the very same line of form. And I do like Benicio Williams' horse, but at the prices, David Pipe's horses are in super form. I just wouldn't mind taking another chance with him.
Yeah, the other thing to mention with him is he's had his win done since we last saw him too. So that can only help a horse that's gone well fresh in the past with his win done as well.
Right, okay, thanks for that, Bill. Right, let's move straight on to the 3 o'clock. And it's the return to Cheltenham of Tiger Roll. Obviously the most popular horse in training and horse very close to your heart, Davy. Before we get into the race, are you a watcher when you're injured? You know, some footballers and some jockeys say, I can't bring myself to watch, it frustrates me too much, I just want to get back racing. Or will you enjoy watching him tomorrow?
Oh no, I watch it. I'm a racing fan. I love watching racing, so no, I'll be watching. Definitely, I'll have no other choice on to watch Tiger Roll because I'll be surrounded by children wondering how is he getting on. So he's #1 fan club here in Cork.
Will it be a proper family affair though? Will it sit down all watching together?
Oh yeah. Finn would be obsessed with him. Yeah, he
good boy.
And Lily likes to watch on, and the other two don't really. Well, Liam is getting more. He's getting more into it now. So we'll all put on the 3 o'clock for sure, and we'll be watching on, and I'll be getting every couple of seconds the questions. Why is this and why is that and who's this and who's doing that and where's he going and all that carry on. So
oh Christ, don't you got me thinking I've got it all to come. If you look at the race though, not often the bookmakers who say we'll probably be cheering on Tiger Roll, but he's 5-2 second favourite. Obviously he's up against Easy Lands, who was emphatic there last year. What can you tell us about the Tiger? How well is he? What's the plan for the season? Do you think he'll be fully tuned up for this, or will he come on plenty for it?
No, he's in really good form, and he came back really, really well. Okay, he was a bit disappointing in Navan, but you know the race was kind of over. I actually thought he ran well in Navan, to be honest. I suppose really the key to him, and that inside track in Cheltenham can get quite heavy, as we saw at the festival, and I just don't think we saw the true Tiger Roll at the festival this year. So I think there's better than that in him. I just would be worried about conditions. I think conditions are key to him, especially when he's moving on in years. He needs everything to fall in place. From these races are getting more competitive. Like you're looking down there, he has to give 6 and 14. He's to give £20 to Potter's Corner, and I think he could. And especially watching him, he was schooling during the week, and the power of social media, Christian had up watching him school over the hedges. He for me is a very interesting runner. But after saying all that, I think Easy's Land. I was very impressed by him. I was unfortunate not to get a spin on him before I was due to ride him last year at one stage, maybe in this race last year, and I didn't get the opportunity. So he was ultra impressive. David Cotton is an exceptionally good trainer. He's very, very good at his job, and I think he will be getting him here in tip-top shape. So Land is very difficult to beat, but I think Potter's Corner is going to pose a huge threat. I think he's a horse that's lurking in on his mark there off 151. I think he's well capable of being competitive off that. Not alone to carry 10-6 and still be, you know, off 151 is a huge thing. So I think he'll be given Easy Land more.
Well, Potter's Corner, Bill, not been hammered by the handicapper for his virtual Grand National win. Who would you be with at the top of the market, Bill?
It's a funny one because it's the ground's not too bad at the moment. It's kind of good. Is you know, we've got a dryish day. It might be the best of the weather, the best of the ground for the 3-day meeting is going to be the Friday. So whether it's going to be soft enough for some of these to be seen at their best. I mean, on paper, it's Easy Land's race to lose on the basis that, you know, he beat Tiger Roll at the festival and he's £4 better off at the weights because this is obviously a handicap. But like Davy said, it's a tall order giving a lot of weight away to some horses. You know, whether he loves it around here or not remains to be seen.
Christian's been in the winners as well.
I think Easy Land will probably win. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go far more left field. I'm gonna put up a 33-1 shot to run really well, and that's the one down the bottom, Kingswell Theatre.
Yeah.
Older than me, but he's 11 years old, Kingswell Theatre. But the interesting thing about him is he won this race in 2017. He was 5th when favourite for this race last year.
Yeah.
And he gets a lot of weight from the front. I think he could surprise a few at a big price. I just thought 33-1 was a big price. Obviously, it should be between the front 2 or 3, but I thought Kingswell Theatre might run well at 33-1 each way.
Okay, well,
just an interesting thing on that, Bill. With him being so far out of the handicap, how much he is? What is he out of the? He's 5'8".
He's a long way out. Yeah, he should be carrying 8-10. I think should be. I mean, he's a stone a bit out the handicap.
And but just for the interest of the viewers, how much of an effect? How much of a part do you play in that?
Do I think that'll have? Yeah, well,
yes,
it's a funny. I mean, just on these cross country races, when particularly the handicaps. We've seen Tiger Roll was beaten in this race a few years ago when he had the big weight, and he got beaten by I think the French horse beat him off because he was getting a stone or so. I just think the way these races are run, I find they tend to go slow. You'll know better than anyone. They tend to go slowly, and then they stack up and quicken again. And I think sometimes the horses who are given a loose lead up front or don't have as much weight get a bit of an advantage here. And I know on the book he's got it all to do. I'm just saying purely on grounds of price. I thought 33-1, a horse that we know. I think he's having his 9th spin round these fences, Kingswell Theatre. Got a bit of a loose lead. The reality is he probably won't.
He'll get on the front as well. When if he gets into a rhythm on the front, Bill, as well, he can get them at it.
Yeah, I just think he'd go well at a big price. I mean, the reality is the front lot should have too much class, but I thought he'd go well.
Okay, Bill, your reception's not great, so we'll just finish up the Friday and touch on any of the other races. Is there anything particularly you want to put up later in the day or early in the day? Anything on the Friday?
Can you still hear me? On the Friday,
yeah.
We mentioned how the David Pipe team are in great form. I thought Induno in the first for Pipey 115. Fergus Gillard rides him. I thought you could forgive him his bad run last season. He was wrong. We haven't seen him since Boxing Day. He looks off a very handy mark off 115. So Induno in the 115. And the only other one I liked was another Pipe horse in the last. I thought he has Panic Attack in the last in the 405. Who won well when dropped in trip last time. I thought
you might as well chuck Eamon to knock in then for the Pipe Trixie,
Yeah, might as well. That'll probably be the only one that wins, but I thought Panic Attack would go well in the last 2.
Davey, anything for you on the card?
No, I agree very much with Bill in the last race, Panic Attack. She's a listed winner in a bumper for William Mullins in Ludlow or someplace like that. She has had 2 runs. She jumped really well, and off 119, it really looks very favourable. I know it looks a competitive race, but I would be very much in her corner in the last.
What I will say is in the 425, the 225, I was very much surprised that Southfield Stone was second favourite to protect her at. We bet 6-5, 6-4, and I know I'd definitely be siding with the second in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes off favourite. But Davey, thanks so much for your time. All the best with the recovery, and enjoy a real family affair. And it'd be nice to watch Tiger with all the kids, because I'm sure you don't get to do that very often.
No, not very often. So,
and hopefully you don't get to do it again.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. Cheers.